all they do is criticize.
Sneako reacts to his Twitter beef with Destiny.
My morality, my decisions, what I do. All they do is criticize my morality, my decisions, what I do. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna constantly do that on me, say I'm not gonna be able to get married, say that I'm a fake Muslim, say that I'm drinking, say that I'm a liar, all this stuff. What the is going on with your life? I called out Aiden today too. Like, I could be drinking and gambling. I'm in the gym. I'm actually doing a self-improvement thing. I'm actually quitting things. I'm actually praying. Destiny, I'm actually working on becoming the best man I could possibly be so I can raise a family, so I can get married. These things are extremely important to me. So if you're gonna criticize that, what are you doing? What else is going on? Yeah, so there's...
The issue with, like, and I understand what... hold on, I'm trying to treat him like this is an intellectual argument and not just like an emotional outburst. But it's just an emotional outburst. I think the reason why I'm so critical of Sneako is because he uses and abuses the people in his life, and then he does it in like haram ways because he just wants credit. So for instance, Sneako wants to get all the credit from being Muslim. He wants to get all the social validation and all that from being pure and chaste and holy or whatever. Why does he still have girls on his stream? Why is he in the background with 2 girls laying on him making out? The answer is because he still desperately craves that validation that he gets from other men when women are validating him in the space, right? You don't need to do that. There's no point. If you really truly believed about the Muslim, if you really truly believe about like that, why are you trying to show off women? That's not, is it halal? That's not holy. That's not chaste. That's not good, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like if somebody makes mistakes, like here's something that so this is what I don't like. Here's what I don't give Sneako for. And I've heard these rumors a lot, and apparently Aiden repeats them. I hear a lot that Sneako gets caught slipping when he's out, when he's like drinking and I don't know if that's true or not. But also, like, if he legitimately like makes a mistake and has a drink and he's off stream or something, you know what? Nobody's perfect. I wouldn't expect Sneako to be perfect. The issue I have is when he's desperately trying to collect social clout from both sides of an issue. You can't do that. And I don't think anybody should buy that. I think you should be called out for that. If you want to be Muslim and you want to be holy and not haram and all that, then fine. But don't brag or show off. Don't brag or show off like girls on your stream. Like, that's haram. That's not good. Yeah, it's just not good. And then having friends close by in your life who are also doing that, like having Zherka, like trashing women in front of you and all that. That's another thing that will always bother me so much. And again, nope, hold on, sorry. I was going to qualify that. I won't qualify that. A good conservative man, Melina actually said this perfectly to the MLD guy. Hey, you said you're a high value man. Why are you on women? Why are you calling women fat? If you're a good conservative man, you respect women, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be in the presence of somebody. You wouldn't have a close friend like that who's just constantly degrading and screaming at women and calling them whores and joking about 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds constantly doing that over and over and over and over again without ever calling him out or holding him to task. And he doesn't. Sneako will never call Zherka out because Zherka is the strong man in the room that he's looking to emulate, that he's like imprinted on right now. But like, why would you let him get away with that over and over and over again? I don't know why. Yeah, well, I know why. And the reason why is because like there's not very much conviction behind this particular belief system. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not really, I guess it's a weird thing. I guess it's a weird thing that Sneako feels like I'm calling out his like personal or private life, but I mean, I'm not really. These are just like the things that you're showing on stream. There are so many things. If I wanted to dig into private relationships, then I would start bringing up all the private that I'm aware of. But I don't do that because I don't think that that's necessarily fair game. But like one thing, for instance, like I guess I'll do this, like for the Lauren, the frustrating thing about Lauren coming out at Xena and then leaking that story that Xena said was fake about like Lauren hearing Xena crying and blah, blah, blah. I know for a fact that story was not fake because I know that Xena's done that at least 3 other times. And I know at least 2 other people who have witnessed it. So I know for a fact that story was real. Now I didn't say anything at the time because it's not my place to get involved in like that personal shit because I'm not like in the business of like shit slinging your personal life. But I mean, like if we want to go like really personal, we can. You can bring up my kid all you want and you can bring up my status all you want. My life is totally open. My life is super open, right? When Zherka referenced that, never mind. There's like, I know so much shit, right? If you want to like try to dig out like the same 2 personal tags people have used against me for 5 years, like go for it. But your life is way more secret. Now, here's the issue. This is the issue. This is another thing that's hard for people to understand, okay? Ordinarily, I don't care if your life is more secretive and my life is more public. The issue is I generally don't come out with moral judgments for how people want to live a lifestyle. If some dude says, hey, I like watching my, wife get fucked by other people, fine, go for it. Hey, as long as I don't hurt anybody, makes you happy, go for it. If some other dude is like, hey, I want to have 4 wives and I'll treat them with respect or blah, 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 and this, okay, fine. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know if I necessarily, but fine, go for it. If Myron, or Alex from whatever Playing with Fire, is like, I do one-sided open relationships. I think personally, one-sided open relationships, I think they're pretty cringe. I feel like the people in them don't have much self-respect. That's just my feeling. But hey, listen, if you want to do it, if everybody consents to it, and I've said that a lot with Myron, I don't like the way that Myron necessarily approaches women, but he's open about it and he's honest about it. If he wants to do it, go for it, So if you want to do your lifestyle, go for it. That's the difference, though, between me and Sneako, is Sneako's coming out with this heavy-handed moral judgment. Your lifestyle is wrong. My lifestyle is right. So it's funny because Sneako keeps attacking me, saying that I'm trying to morally grandstand when I'm not. I'm usually looking for very basic things like, is somebody being harmed here? And if there's no harm, I'm generally pretty, live and let live. Sneako's the one that's coming out here saying like, oh, you're not allowed to do that, or this is unethical, or you're destroying the world, or blah, blah, blah. So yeah. So if that's the case, if that's the case that I'm the one who's pretty chill and you're the one with the moral judgments, if anything, you should have more of an open life than I should. Because I'm willing to respect people's privacies and let people live the lives they live. If you're the one who wants to make the moral judgments, we should be talking about your personal life. How do you treat your girlfriends? How do you treat your personal relationships? Because I happen to know personally that they're a disaster. All of them are. And everybody behind the scenes knows that. Everybody that goes to the after show dinners knows that. Everybody that's like been friends with him or people in his life knows that. It's like an open secret. Everybody knows that. But it's very annoying to have Sneako come out and like fight at me like, did you abandon your son? Or does your wife get like, yeah, I mean, like, you can say the same 2 things over and over again, but you're the one that's morally grandstanding. And like, if we were to start digging out your like, bro, it would be over. It would be game over. Like, people already have like minorly dug it out. So yeah, I don't know. That's like the irritating thing for me. And then he's acting like, oh, Destiny's morally grandstanding. I'm not morally grandstanding. I just think like some of the things you do are a little shitty, but like I'm not even like necessarily opposed to your lifestyle. Again, if Muslims want to have 4 wives, personally, I think it's kind of weird, but I mean, it can be done, and as long as everybody consents to it, fine. It's
been like back and forth with drama with Destiny on Twitter. And it's been, okay, I want to pull it up and show you guys what's going on, because I want to know if you guys think I made it too personal, but I will explain to you the justification why. Other people, especially like the leftists, they'll always play the moral high ground thing because that's what leftism is. It's thinking that they're better.
And then this too, and now he webs to reinforce like because he doesn't really have ideas about me, or he's scared to engage with what I say, or he can't. I might like intellectually be at a level that he like can't access, right? So now it's just like, Destiny, leftists think this thing and it's really bad, and here are the things that the leftists think, and I think that leftists are bad and dumb, and because leftists think, and it's like, okay, he like he's like looking for like the program to run, and it's like, Destiny, leftist, progressive, bad, WEF bad, insects bad, like, yeah, it's just like, okay.
Than other people because they're more empathetic, they're more moral. You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you noticed that with the climate change people who glue?
Like, when do I ever argue that I'm more moral? Like, I don't know. Again, I guess like if you want to get reductionist and say that like all things are morality, I mean, I guess we could, if you want to go really hard, we could say that, but dumb. He says moral high ground because your criticism is a moral position aren't sincere, right? No, I'm not going to grant that. If you want to say that, that's if you think that, you're, but I know you're like, have a conservative brain, so maybe. But when somebody says moral high ground or moral grandstanding, generally what they're saying is that your behavior is reprehensible and they're more moral in that regard than you. Why is this hard to focus my camera? So like an example of like moral grandstanding might be like, I pay my employees way more than you do, right? That may be an example of like moral grandstanding, but I don't think like criticizing somebody's ideology. Okay, I think close enough. Counts as like moral grandstanding. Nick also does this to you? Well, yeah, sure. I'm sure that it's probably, I think Nick and Zherka are probably like whispering a lot of things in Sneako's ear. So right now what I'm hearing is, right now what I'm getting a lot of is it's probably a lot of things that, that Nick Fuentes and Zherka have whispered to him. And now he's kind of like repeating them because now he's, you know.
Their hands to the street, and then you have the police come and have to peel it off. How dare you? That's leftism. How dare you? How dare you not think exactly like me? Throws paint on a statue.
Like, it's so funny. He says, how dare you not think exactly like me? But that's what he thinks, right? If you're not like him, you're immoral. If you lead alternate lifestyles, you're immoral. If you don't, you know, follow the whatever religious creed, I don't even know how he feels about Christians and shit, I'm not sure. But like, it's funny because he's the one that is of the religion that has the moral judgment. Wait, there's a unique boot that I think I actually need, right? I need to make a video on that.
So if you're gonna go and say that I'm never gonna be able to get married, which is what he's saying that I'm never.
I'm not saying, and he doesn't understand, when I say he's not going to be able to get married, I don't know if he understands the attack I'm making on him. The attack that I'm making is that he doesn't live a life that comports to the values that he claims to have, that he wants credit for having, and that he seems to be holding other people to. So for instance, he's on this Muslim kick so much, like, oh, but, oh, it's all so good, and blah, blah, blah. Despite, I don't even know how much he knows about Islam or anything. But like, the reality is there are no Muslim fathers that would promise their daughter to a man, you know, that pretends to want to have 4 wives, is like bragging about like threesomes and having girls on stream all the time and like on women and calling them all like no like reasonable father of a conservative woman is gonna like promise their daughter this guy, and that's not even on him. Like, that's just like I'm just pointing out that like you're holding other people to a standard that you yourself are horrendously failing to meet. It's not a comparison to myself. I don't think any Muslim fathers would want their daughters marrying me, but
Ever gonna be like no father's ever gonna want to marry his daughter off to me. Let's look at you. I'm sick of these moral high ground people always talking about how they're superior. All right, fine. You're gonna say that Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. You're gonna say that all the people that I like to.
Do you see the web thing? What else did that say? Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate? Like, what does Andrew Tate have to do with any of this? What does whether or not he's a trafficker have to do with any of this? Like, why even bring that up? Like, what?
Speak to, you're gonna say that they're bad people. Let's look at you, right? You abandoned your son to play StarCraft in Miami, and so he responded again.
Actually, by then it was League of Legends. Okay.
This made him upset because like it did pretty well. He responded again. Thanks, Sneako gave me lots of right. You abandoned your son to play StarCraft in Miami, and so he responded again. And this made him upset because like it did pretty well. He responded again. Thanks, Sneako gave me lots to think about.
First of all, none of Sneako's tweets will make me upset because they don't typically do well. Wait, does anybody have a link to the guy that showed the bots? Sneako generally he's got like the Griper assist right now. So hold on. Let me see if I can find this video. These are the likes that Sneako gets on his on his Twitter. Bro, I swear to God, I'm like the only person on these platforms that doesn't bot. I think this is why podcasts that I go on do so well. I think I'm like the only person that doesn't have like a botted following, like on any of my platforms. Because why would I waste the money on it? But yeah, imagine like, bro, this is wild. Like, is this what's upsetting me?
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.